Hey, what's going on, Trojan family? Welcome to the USC LAFB show here on the LAFB network. We are Los Angeles Sports, and this is your destination for USC Trojans news. Said it before, huge weekend for official visits. A lot of news already coming out. Here we are on Thursday. A lot more is going to come this weekend, so make sure to be locked in right here. Hit that like and subscribe button if you have not already, or just make sure to be tuned in on LAFBnetwork.com, as I'll have written content up. Our forum is a go. Jump on there. LAFBnetwork.com, go to the message boards, putting out a bunch of stuff in there. You know, we're still growing that. So it's going to be a while before we get a ton of comments, but hey, you can be the one that starts it. You can be the one that starts commenting in there. But obviously, as always, comment below if you're watching on YouTube. Always appreciate that. So, big weekend. I laid out all the visitors coming. The biggest one to me, well, kind of two, and I'll keep this video just about these two. Jet Washington and Talanoa Ely. Jet Washington is now finished with his visit as of this recording. He is heading now to Oregon. So all indications are did not verbal or commit this weekend, or this week, I should say, because we know with this kind of new stance on recruits that, you know, once you give a verbal, USC is kind of asking you to lock it in, shut it down. If he would have canceled that official visit, that would have been a huge indication like, ooh, USC may have gotten a verbal. As from what I've heard now, I'm hoping to hear more. I'm talking to some people. But he is heading to Oregon for his official this weekend. But I did hear that it went very well. Just maybe even a week ago, it seemed like kind of a two-horse race between Alabama and Oregon for Jet. USC is firmly in the mix from what I've heard and have a absolute chance to land the 6'5", 205-pound safety. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen necessarily. I have no idea what the offer is at this point. Again, I haven't heard everything down to details of how the visit went. Just heard it went really well, and USC is absolutely in the mix. So this is a big one. This, to me, there's two, the two I'm talking about in this video, are kind of the most important remaining in this class. Anything outside of these two is gravy. And even these two are kind of gravy. I mean, the class is already, 28 deep, number one class in the country. Like, think of where we were just a year ago and where we are now, saying like, oh yeah, we need these two more to really complete the class, get us to 30 recruits, continue us being in the number one. So it just shows where we have come from. And in such a short time of recruiting dominance, it's like now we expect it, right? Which, hey, why not? You should with all this staff and momentum. But Jet Washington and Talanoa Ely are kind of the two remaining uncommitted guys that are my kind of go-to guys. I think Jet is going to be a little harder to finalize just because there was really strong ties with Alabama, and now he's going to visit with Oregon. But I do think it's a real possibility. I will keep you posted on anything I hear on that. Talanoa Ely is in town. His official visit has started. It is this weekend. Or I think it maybe officially starts on the 6th, but it seems like either he's in town already or his dad's posting stuff, which is always fun to see. But he is on his official this weekend with a bevy of other, obviously, high-profile recruits that I highlighted last video. You can check that out there, or I have a full list on LAFBnetwork.com. This is like the another really big one, and USC is in the absolute driver's seat to land this. Like, this is the one, if we're looking for the bat signal to come out, or another funny Anchorman video or something signifying a commit, like, this is the one that is most likely to me, is Talanoa Ely. There's other ones to look for when you look at Peyton Dyer, the cornerback, when you look at receivers in terms of Lott and Feaster, which I'll maybe talk about after we hear a little bit more on the next video. But with Ely, it feels like SC's in the driver's seat and UCLA is in the passenger seat. I think it's going to come down to a battle of LA between those two schools. As of now, as of this recording, he still has visits scheduled with Notre Dame, with Oregon, with Texas. But seeing how this visit goes, obviously, if he does end up committing, we would assume he will cancel those remaining, and obviously that takes UCLA out of it. But if he does not commit this weekend, or even I'll just say as of right now, I think it's kind of a two-horse race. And many might laugh, but I think the ties to Los Angeles, there's obviously family ties between the Ely family and UCLA. So UCLA is definitely like in this race, but I ultimately think USC has done too much, has built too much relationship. The program is just in a further along state. I think UCLA is going to surprise people. I know Trojan fans don't want to hear that, but hey, it's good for the rivalry. You want UCLA to be good. I remember talking to Frosty, Lofa Tatupu, all these former players, and it's like they would say their second favorite team was UCLA because you want them to be good so you can beat them. Like you don't want them to be dog crap, and then the rivalry means nothing. So you want them to be good. But USC is in a better spot right now. It's further along. I think UCLA has an underrated coaching staff, but as a linebacker playing for Rob Ryan, I mean that's pretty second to none. So I think USC ultimately gets it done. But don't be surprised if this becomes a battle for LA. I think UCLA is in a much better spot than Oregon, Notre Dame, or Texas, or I know Oklahoma was in a big running there. But I think it's USC and UCLA. I think ultimately USC gets it done. We will see this weekend. We'll see the chatter. Hopefully we get an update here this weekend, and I'll be able to jump on here and be like, yeah, we got him, because it's been talking about Ely for quite some time, trending to SC, and we know about the visits the coaches Rob Ryan and Sean Newell have taken to Hawaii. Which, by the way, like going on a recruiting visit to Hawaii, yeah, must be nice. Must be nice. Our friend Scott Schrader is always out in Hawaii now with the recruits, so not a bad lifestyle there. But yeah, so we'll let you know. We'll keep you posted. But basically, wanted to jump on here and say I think as of now it's a battle of LA between USC and UCLA, but I think USC ultimately gets it done. So big weekend. We'll have a lot of news coming out of it. So keep it right here. I'll be jumping on here all throughout the weekend with anything I hear. And obviously, as I say all the time, everything can be found at LAFBnetwork.com. Thank you as always, family, for tuning in. And as always, fight on.